Hey folks, the real estate numbers are in for week ending May 24th. It's really interesting. It seems we have a market for everybody. If you're a moving up buyer, you're a downsizing buyer, if you're a first time buyer, if you're a seller, it could be the right market for you. It's really interesting to determine what's going on in the different neighborhoods. Subscribe below. You'll be reminded when these new videos come up. Subscribe below. Pass it on to the people that you think this would interest. I'm going to get right into it. Let's start off with Vaughan. So, Vaughan freehold. That's towns, semis, and detached. No condos in this equation. I've been breaking it down week by week. Since the beginning of March, we're in our 12th week now, well into the COVID health crisis situation here. Average sold price went up 1 week to the next, and it wasn't so far off from the previous week before. So we are 7.2% average prices lower than it was at the beginning of March. But, you know, we sold over 2 million. We sold only 1 unit, and 2 were sold at list price or more. But sales for the last couple of weeks have been the same. There's not that many sales going on. 19 last week, 20 the week before. We didn't expect really a huge increase in sales for last week because of the holiday, the long week, and then we had the holiday Monday. But average sold price did go up with the 19 sales. Looking at Toronto, where we had more sales, and again, this is just freehold, average sold price has been going up for the last 4 weeks in a row now. So there's an interesting situation there. Of the 98 that sold, more than half sold at list price or more. Half. That's an amazing number. And 10 of them have sold at $2 million or more. Now, we are down 10% from where prices were at the high at the beginning of March, but we have been creeping up slowly, getting closer to the high for the year. Let's look at prices compared to last year. Now, we're still just looking at freehold. Look at this. Although we're down from the March average prices, for Vaughan, for freehold properties, we're up 7.8% from what prices were last year. So how do you look at this? You could think, well, we're down from the beginning of March, which was our high point for the year. So we're down. That's bad. But we're still way up from where we were last year. Well, that's good. So depends on how you look at it. For Toronto freehold, we're up 8.9% from where we were last year, which is good. We're down from where we were in March, but we're up from where we were last year. So can we say it's terrible, it's doom and gloom? We're up. In any normal market, if you're up 4%, 5%, 6%, 8% from the previous year's price, you would normally think that's pretty good. Well, that's where we are now. If you're looking at sales, way low, but average price, it's not such a bad thing right now. Vaughan sales, they kind of stayed the same, but we're way off the mark from last year. Toronto sales dropped from where they were last week, but last year it also dropped because of the holiday Monday. But watch this. When we look at new listings for Vaughan have been increasing every single week, and for Toronto, new listings for weeks now have been increasing every single week. It might sound like that's a good thing, there's more listings. However, it seems so far, new listings are outpacing what we're buying. So we're seeing more and more inventory sitting out there. That could be a problem. Well, depends on whether you're buying or selling. But how would it affect prices? At the end, I'm going to talk about months of inventory, but that's exactly where I'm heading with this. If we start to get more listings and purchases don't increase with the amount of listings, we start to see greater selection out there. Could be a good thing, but if the buyers don't jump on board and start buying up some of these listings, we're going to see more and more properties sitting out there, which has a negative effect on price. We'll get into that in a little bit more detail. Let's look at Vaughan condos. We jumped to 5. Hallelujah. Big jump there to 5. I'm having fun by saying this. We're not going to talk much about Vaughan condos because the volume just isn't there really to talk about it. And prices are basically where they were at the beginning of March. And we are up in Vaughan from where the average price was last year. But there was only 5 sold, so you kind of, you take that and really not put too much value in that. Here are the sales and new listings. Well, we've been kind of in the mid to high 20s over the last 4 weeks. We're not so far off the mark from where we were last year with new listings. But let's look at Toronto. There were 98 condos sold. A third of them sold at list price or more. The average for Toronto condos, now these are condo apartments. I'm not talking about condo townhouses or any other type of condos. The average selling price was $662,000, and that's just a little bit lower, 6.8% lower than the high point at the beginning of March. So we're down 6% from the beginning of March, but we're up 4.1% from where we were last year. Now last year's average price of $636,000, there were 24 condos that sold at $1 million or more. This year there were only 7. And we're still higher as far as average price goes than where we were last year. So the condo market prices did drop a little bit over the last few weeks, but we're still higher than where we were last year. Looking at condo sales, they've kind of stayed the same. They went up a little bit last week, but they're all in the high 90s. And listings have been going up. So we're having the same situation here with the condos in Toronto. Sales are one way, listings are here, and each week the gap between the two is starting to get bigger. What does that mean? Let's look at months of inventory. This tells the story for where the future is going. If we look at Vaughan Freehold, right now for week ending May 24th, we're sitting at 5.5 months of inventory. Very solid in a balanced market situation. The previous week it was 4.4 months of inventory. So just in 1 week, when we take into account what's available for sale at the rate that we're currently buying, we jumped up 1 month of inventory. That's a big jump in just 1 week. If this trend keeps going, we're going to see the months of inventory for Vaughan increase into a buyer's market. Vaughan condos, we went way down from where we were the previous week, but when you're only buying 2 or buying 5 and there's a few listings out there, it's hard to put a lot of validity to this number. So let's leave Vaughan condos out of this. Toronto Freehold. Previous week we were at 2.4 months of inventory. This last week ending we're at 2.9 months of inventory. So months of inventory has increased there. And condo apartments, we're sitting in a balanced market. We went from 4.1 months of inventory to 4.7. So how would we read this? Well, I have this fear of being like the weatherman, where you predict, this week they've predicted thunderstorms. So far, nothing. Beautiful weather. I hope you're enjoying it. Well, I don't want to be the same way with these market stats here. There are situations where prices are creeping up. So if you're looking to sell, it could be a good time before they turn the other way, because there's signs that it could turn the other way. But there's also signs if some of these buyers jump off of the fence and kind of get into buying properties, because there are some great deals there, then everything changes, and in a matter of 1 or 2 weeks, prices could be shooting up again. If you're looking to buy, are we at the low point now? Is this the right time to buy? Well, prices middle of April is kind of when they were at their lowest, and they've been getting higher and higher. If they shoot up, you're going to miss the buying opportunity. If they go the other way, then you'll take advantage of that. And different neighborhoods are reacting different. It's so tough for me to say which way it's going. There's signs that point this way, signs that point that way. I know that you need something more conclusive, but week to week, things are changing out there. The only thing I could tell you for sure is it is not doom and gloom. Prices are strong, and whatever happens, I'm going to be here and report it to you and tell you exactly how it is. Subscribe below. You'll be reminded each time we shoot a video like this, which is weekly right now. And thank you so much to all the people out there on the front lines protecting us. Things are starting to ease up. Let's still be careful. Let's be safe. And my name is Santo with RE/MAX Premier. Have a great day.